Mangwanani Malelepo Fukenja Miklekwas Vanave Africa. Welcome to Africa Good Morning, the news and current affairs show bringing you everything you need to know happening on the African continent and beyond. You are joined by Ashwin Bedi, and these are some of the stories that we're looking at on Wednesday, the 4th of September. Ethiopian Airlines says it has halted Eritrea flights after account frozen. Dangote Refinery awaits Tinubu's decision on petrol pricing. That's in Nigeria. And Ugandan Olympian hospitalised after being set on fire. Follow all our programs on oneup2.com, DSTV 285 and GoTV 25 in Namibia. We'll also be talking to Arrie Hougaard as he brings us the latest news stories from South Africa. Top stories shortly.
Entries are now open for the second round of Republicane's Bridal Couple of the Year competition. Couples married between 1 June and 31 August have until 30 September of this year to enter the second round of the competition. Another one of the top 10 couples will be chosen from this pool to participate in the final, taking place in May 2025. To better your chance of reaching the final, enter now. To enter, simply WhatsApp #bridal2025 to 085 785 6231 and follow the on-screen instructions or scan this QR code.
All right, let's get into the top stories on Africa Good Morning. Thousands of teachers may soon be jobless in the Western Cape in South Africa when their contracts are not renewed because of budgets. An estimated 2,400 teacher posts are set to be cut in 2025 due to the national government's inability to fully accommodate a 2023 wage agreement, said the Western Cape government. Now, the provincial government recently revealed they are facing a 3.8 billion rand shortfall over the next 3 years, despite their execution of a substantial 2.5 billion rand budget cut in administration, curriculum and infrastructure. Now, while retrenchments are not on the cards, Education MEC David Maynier confirmed that contract teachers will not be renewed. Permanent teachers will be relocated to other schools to help with shortages, and Maynier told the Citizen no schools are planned to be closed, and this is amid the cuts. In our next story, Ethiopian Airlines said on Tuesday it had suspended flights to neighboring Eritrea because its bank account there was frozen. The carrier's CEO, Mesfin Tasiu, told a news conference that the Eritrean Civil Aviation Authority had blocked money transfers from Ethiopian Airlines' bank account in the Eritrean capital city, Asmara. Now, Eritrea had previously said it would suspend all Ethiopian Airlines flights at the end of this month. Flights from Ethiopia to Eritrea resumed in 2018 after 2 decades following a peace deal and resumption of diplomatic relations between the two neighbors that earned Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed a Nobel Peace Prize a year later. Now, Ethiopian Airlines is ranked the largest airline in Africa by revenue and profit by the International Air Transport Association. 5 diplomats told Reuters the suspension of flights signaled that relations between Asmara and Addis had soured significantly. However, the risk of conflict was unlikely for now. Sadly, a Ugandan Olympic runner has been hospitalized in Kenya after being set on fire by her partner, according to police. Rebecca Cheptegei, who competed last month in the Paris Olympic Games, suffered burns to 3/4 of her body when her partner poured petrol on her and set her ablaze, police reported. Now, the attack took place on Sunday afternoon at Cheptegei's home in Kenya's western Trans Nzoia County. The 33-year-old 20-year-old athlete is now in critical condition in a hospital in Eldoret, Kenya. Her Kenyan partner and alleged assailant Dixon Diema Marangash was also injured by the flames, according to police, who said he broke into Cheptegei's home while she was at church. Now, Cheptegei's parents, who are reportedly on their way to see her from Uganda, said their daughter bought a home and land in the area to take advantage of its training facilities. Now, Cheptegei, who placed fourth in the women's marathon, and this was in the 2024 Olympics, makes headlines as a victim of domestic assault in Kenya, sadly. Now, an attempted jailbreak in Congo's main prison in the capital left at least 129 people dead, most of them in a stampede, authorities said. A provisional assessment showed that 24 inmates were shot dead by warning gunshots as they tried to escape from the overcrowded Makala Central Prison in Kinshasa. This was early on Monday. Congolese Interior Minister Jacquemin Shabani said on the social platform X. There are also 59 injured people taken into care by the government, as well as some cases of women raped, he said, adding that order has been restored at the prison, part of which was burned in the attack. Makala, Congo's largest penitentiary with a capacity of 1,500 people, holds over 12,000 inmates, and most of whom are awaiting trial, Amnesty International said in its latest country report. A British national has said he is at a loss as to why the Nigerian police have accused him of planning to overthrow Nigeria's government and placed a bounty on his head. It was alleged by Nigeria's police spokesperson on Monday that Andrew Wayne and a co-conspirator had built up a network of sleeper cells to destabilize Nigeria and had fled the country in the wake of last month's cost of living protests. Speaking from the UK, Wayne told Nigeria's Channels Television he was not aware of accusations and would be happy to talk to officials. He said he ran a bookshop in the Nigerian capital, Abuja, and had been visiting the West African nation for 25 years without any problems. A reward of $6,000 has been offered by Nigeria's police to anyone who has information that could lead to the arrest of Wayne, and the same amount for his alleged Nigerian accomplice, Lucky Obiana. I am more than happy to talk with the police. I am more than happy to discuss on WhatsApp or Zoom. I am more than happy to go to London and to meet with officials from the Nigerian High Commission, said Wayne, who is also known by the name Andrew Povich. Those have been our top stories on Africa Good Morning. After the break, we talk to Arrie Hougaard as he brings us the latest news stories from South Africa.
Welcome to Namibia, where adventure meets tranquility. With Enjoy, you have access to a wide range of accommodations to suit every traveler's taste and budget. Experience the finest dining and hospitality Namibia has to offer. Booking your dream accommodation is just a few clicks away with Enjoy. Join thousands of happy travelers who have trusted Enjoy for their Namibian getaway. Your gateway to unforgettable Namibian adventures. Visit us today at enjoy.my.na.
All right, it's time for us to talk to Arrie Hougaard in South Africa as he brings us the latest news. Arrie, in your first story, the South African economy grew in the second quarter as there has been no load shedding for almost 5 months. Good morning. Do take it away.
Yes, good morning, Ashwin. Yes, indeed. The economy grew by 150 days since there was load shedding. So that's the first important point, and that helped the economy quite a bit. It grew by 0.4%. So that's Eskom in action helping. And so that obviously with electricity, gas and water also made a big difference. It was up 3.1% in the second quarter, especially with the electricity side, and also manufacturing also up by 1.1%. And also that will be because of the steady flow of electricity that made a massive difference. Then the second consecutive quarter, it was the mining that was down by 0.8%. And production specifically for that is iron ore, also for coal and the diamonds and gold. that is down, and also the impact of Transnet, also with the support system getting all those products to the harbours. Also, it wasn't a good rain season in many parts of the country, so it affected the maize, the soya, and the sugar productions, cane sugar specifically. So that's been a challenge in the third quarter. So the agriculture down by 2.1% in the second quarter, but all over it was a better second quarter for the South African economy, mostly because no load shedding. So it's also nice for us to get used to that in the household as well.
Understandably, Arrie. Now, South Africa's largest retailer, Shoprite, will in the future focus more on its food retail operations as it will sell its furniture business interests.
Yes, Shoprite doing quite well, and they're going to focus on their food production rather. They're going to sell their furniture and business to Pepco, and so that is brands like OK Furniture and House and Home that they're selling. And it is going to make Pepco quite a strong role player in that market. Their value will go up to 3.2 billion, and that is a big acquisition also for Pepco. They're going to add 400 stores, so they'll have a total of 6,000 stores. So Pepco will be a big role player in that market. And then Shoprite as well, their sales growth up by 12.3%, and it's up to 195 billion. They've done well the last year. That is Shoprite. They've got, for the last 64 months, they've had consecutive market share gains, and so that is quite something to good achievement for them. And they've opened up 292 new stores. They have a total of 3,639 stores now. That is the Shoprite group. So they created 6,400 new jobs. So it's quite a good story for Shoprite in the economy.
All right, understandably. Now, Arrie, this next story was actually our top story, and we're looking forward to getting more detail from you. Education in the Western Cape is under huge pressure as teaching job cuts are expected due to a severe budget shortfall from the national government.
Yes, the budget shortfall, the number that was announced was 3.8 billion South African rand. So that effectively will have 2,400 jobs under pressure. It seems like it's confirmed. That is the Western Cape Education MEC, David Mania, there in the picture. So he announced that 2,400 jobs in that education will be lost in the Western Cape. So that's a massive amount of teachers that will lose their jobs to the end of, well, it's effective the 1st of January next year, which is frustrating. In 2023, 500 grade R permanent positions were confirmed by the MEC. So the one side, they add more, now they're going to take away quite a substantial amount. The 3.8 billion is a shortfall from government side to the Western Cape. But what makes it more frustrating, late yesterday in the government, it was announced that the post office also needs actually exactly the same amount, 3.8 billion South African rand, but they need it within a month just to avoid going totally bankrupt. So the post office in deep challenges. So not a good consistent flow of money to all the areas needed in the South African economy at the moment. But sad to see that the teachers might lose their jobs.
Truly sad to see, Arrie. Now we get the last of your stories from the world of sport as Laura Wolvaardt will captain the South Africa women's cricket team at the T20 Women's World Cup in the United Arab Emirates next month.
Yes, South Africa love to play in these World Cups, and I think many will remember the Women's World Cup last year. It was hosted in South Africa in Cape Town. South Africa played in a final against Australia, lost that final, but a great achievement there by them. So they'll be competitive again. That's the team there in action in the World Cup last year. So they have a tough group. There's two groups, Group A and B, and they're in the group of Bangladesh, England, Scotland, and the West Indies. And they'll start their first game on the 4th of October against the West Indies. And also in Cape Town, we're also excited about a big rugby test, the Springboks against New Zealand this coming weekend. But that's Laura Wolvaardt. She'll be the captain, so she hopefully can inspire a nation again, and hopefully they can have success, go one better, go from the playing in a final to winning the final.
Yes, we certainly wish them all the best. Thank you, Arrie, for bringing us the news stories from South Africa.
Big pleasure, Ashwin. Yes, great day for everyone. Bye-bye.
All right, cheers. Let's have a look at the weather predictions before we head into economic news.
Neo Paints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neo Paints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neo Paints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
In economic news, Nigeria, Aliko Dangote, one of Africa's richest men and owner of Dangote Refinery, has announced that petrol produced in his refinery could be available at filling stations across Nigeria within the next 48 hours. Despite being an oil-rich country, this marks Nigeria's first production of petrol in 28 years. Alongside the positive news, there has been growing curiosity about the fuel pricing from Dangote's refinery, especially as Nigerians in Africa's most populous country continue to face exorbitant fuel prices and widespread shortages. The Dangote Group earlier refuted reports suggesting it set the pump price of petrol at 0.067 rands per litre for marketers nationwide. When asked about the refinery's petrol pricing, Dangote stated that the decision would ultimately rest with the Federal Executive Council under the leadership of President Bola Tinubu. The billionaire industrialist expressed confidence in the quality of petrol from his refinery, assuring Nigerians that they will benefit from superior fuel that will enhance the longevity of vehicle engines. It's a celebration day for Nigerians, Dangote declared. Now, the U.S. government is ready to develop a crucial railway project that runs from Angola to the Indian Ocean, going through Tanzania. When completed, the railway, known as the Lobito Corridor, will connect several African countries to global markets and enhance regional trade and economic growth. The most recent trip to the region by U.S. Acting Special Coordinator for Partnership on Global Infrastructure and Investment, Helania Mata, was intended to examine the next steps towards extending the economic corridor to the Indian Ocean. As President Joe Biden has said from day one of the launch of this flagship effort, this corridor has never just been about building infrastructure. It's about offering high-quality, sustainable infrastructure projects that deliver lasting economic growth, Mata also said. Let's have a look at the economic indicators before Arrie swings back with the sport.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, and starting off with tennis news. First, it's the US Open that continues. It's going to be week 2 this week, and it is a big result in the women's side. Of course, Coco Gauff, the defending champion, the women's division, out of the tournament. She lost in the 4th round, and better for Aryna Sabalenka, number 2 seed. She beat Elise Mertens by 6-2 and 6-4, so she's the highest seed left in the tournament. Good result also for Beatriz Haddad-Maia. She's from Brazil. She beat Alina Kaliskaya from Russia 6-3 and 6-1, also through to the 4th round. In the men's side of the draw, it is Novak Djokovic, the big seed that fell over the weekend, but better for Alexander Zverev. He's from Germany. He beat Brendan Nakashima. He's from the United States 6-3, 1-6, 6-2 and 6-2, also through to the 4th round. And then Taylor Fritz, number 12 seed, he knocked out number 8 seed. It's Taylor Fritz beating Casper Ruud. He beat him in 4 sets as well to advance to the 4th round. And then number 3 seed, Daniel Medvedev, always a threat on the hard courts. He beat Fabrice Colbelli of Italy comfortably in 3 sets to advance to the 4th round. On to Formula 1 motor racing news, and it is McLaren that still creeping closer to the team of Red Bull that is in the Constructors' Championship after the Italian Grand Prix the past weekend. There's just 8 points at the difference. It is Red Bull still leading in the Constructors' Championship by 446 points, but now McLaren 438 points, just 6 points behind them with 8 races to go. Ferrari in 3rd position with 407 points. In the individual racing calendar or the standings, it is Max Verstappen still leading at 303 points. He's his lead, and he's got a lead of 62 points over Lando Norris on 241. But Lando Norris every Grand Prix doing better and getting closer to Max Verstappen. Charles Leclerc 3rd, 217 points. The next Grand Prix will be the Azerbaijan Grand Prix at the Baku circuit. It will be this coming weekend. On to Paralympic news, and good news for South Africa. Their first gold medal, or their first medal was a gold medal. It was Mpumelelo Mashlangu. He won gold in the T44 100 meters. A great performance by him. He's 30 years old and also the world record holder. So the first gold for South Africa in the Paralympics in Paris. Then to close off today's international sports news, it's rugby news. This coming weekend, it will be the 2nd test in South Africa between the Springboks and the All Blacks. The past weekend, it was the Springboks that beat the All Blacks in Johannesburg. Big test coming up in Cape Town, but there's still injury concern over the captain, Siya Kolisi. He's got a cheek injury and he's been assessed, so there's a good chance that he will not be able to play on Saturday. Also, Kurtley Arends, the wing that plays for the Bulls, he's one of the best players in the backline for the Springboks, also had a hard knock to the head, and he's being assessed and will also need to apply to protocols and not be able to play this coming weekend. That's international sports news for today. I hope you have a great sport day, and we talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.
Thank you for staying with Africa Good Morning throughout the broadcast. Let's have a look at the highlights. Teacher contracts won't be renewed in Western Cape, but schools will stay open. We also went into the story with Arrie Hougaard. Ethiopian Airlines says it has halted Eritrea flights after their account was frozen in the country. And Dangote Refinery awaits Tinubu's decision on petrol pricing, but they do expect to start supplying Nigeria within the next 48 hours. Thank you for staying with Africa Good Morning. DSTV 285, GoTV 25, 1up2.com, and Network Media Hub on YouTube is precisely where you can find us. From me, Ashwin Berry, and the rest of the Africa Good Morning team, Sweraja Kanaka.